welcome to the channel again. This is Daniel from Clover Tactical. We are reviewing the Sig P320 today. This gun was released as part of the military trials. It's also known by the M17, the military acronym for this pistol. This is the compact version of the pistol. We took it out to the range. We've run about 600 rounds through it at this point, and hope you guys enjoy the review. So with the Sig P320 being released as part of the military trials, they just released a special edition, the M17 edition, that's come out for civilian use. It comes in like a coyote color. This gun was very popular when it first came out. There's been some problems with the triggers. I know when it first came out there were some problems with the triggers. We've had no problem with this one after 600 rounds. This is a base model. This is a compact model. It did not come with night sights. So it's got a decent trigger, honestly. So it's got a pretty decent trigger compared to most stock pistols. This one has a very good trigger in it. I don't know how I feel. So when the trigger comes down, there's a little metal piece underneath that can collect debris. I've had several people that have used this pistol. The one thing I will say about Sig, and this is generally true with most of their polymer frame guns. So we have a traditional Sig with the metal frame. This is the 229. This is probably one of my favorite pistols. It's a great pistol, massively different price point. But this pistol is a great pistol. We'll be doing a review on it later. You lose some of the functions with the polymer frame guns, but you also gain some of the modularity that you get from being able to switch out the grips. They make several different types of lowers for this that you can completely switch out and just put your slide on. So that's definitely a positive. This is the stock one that comes with the base P320. And I wasn't a huge fan. Some of the other guys at Clover Tactical were. They took it out to the range and really loved it. I just wasn't a huge fan. One thing I will say, when we're looking at the magazines on this pistol, there is an indentation right there that allows it to, makes it easier to strip the magazines. They also fall out. They're metal, aluminum mags, but they also have an indentation there, so it's easier to pull the magazine out. That's definitely a positive, and I think that that's something that Sig thought through well. It's got a nice Picatinny rail on it. The only thing that I will say negatively on the outside of this gun, it's almost like they intended to put a striker back here. As far as it doesn't move when you pull the pistol back, and it can throw you off when you're shooting. It also, I've heard guys say it helps keep them square right in the middle of the gun. I just wasn't a huge fan. Frankly, that did throw me off a little bit. I thought it was unnecessary and could be removed. But cosmetic, it's more of a cosmetic issue than it is anything else. So the Sig P320, obviously cosmetically on the exterior, has a lot of positives about it. There's some negatives, as I mentioned, but I think that the front serrations on this pistol are definitely a positive. We're seeing that out of a lot of manufacturers now, and I think that that's a major plus. I think that one of the biggest problems that this pistol has versus some of its competitors, even though it has the front serrations, a lot of guys look at guns like the 19X and stuff that come with stock Trishicon night sights, and they question that. I think you can pick this gun up a little bit cheaper than you can some of the Glocks, but generally they run around the same price point. So there's not a ton of differences here. One of the major differences that I did notice from the inside of the older Sig pistols, if you take it apart, this gun looks very much like every other polymer frame pistol that you get, but I've seen very little. After 600 rounds, we had almost no scoring. We have two of these pistols, and this gun looks brand new. I was impressed with that. I've heard guys say that the bluing is rubbed off on here. I've heard all kinds of stuff about the pistol. So, but I will say that for us, at least, And it was one day of 600 rounds, so it wasn't like we did it over a couple day period. Drawing it in and out of the holster, there's almost no scuffing on this. Obviously, there's a little bit internally, nothing major. It grouped fine. We had no problems. We didn't have any misfeeds, didn't have any other problems like that. So generally, I was very impressed with how this pistol performed out at the range. I don't think that we had any problem with it. It assembles easily, it's lightweight. Depending on your grip, I have a little bit of leftover hand space at the bottom, but I tend to have that with a lot of pistols, which is why I use Terran tactical mag extensions a lot of times on shorter pistols, or I'll try to get something that actually fits my hand. But this pistol definitely met my expectations, especially at the price point. I think we got this around Black Friday or somewhere in that neighborhood for, I want to say about $450 or something like that. So if for $450, this is a great pistol. It's something to go out and shoot with. It's definitely a decent concealed pistol. No problems. The only major problems I've seen have been cosmetic, and I wasn't a huge fan of the trigger and the break in the trigger. I felt like it left a little bit to be desired there. But good luck, guys. Hope you guys stay safe. It's a new year, 2019, so hope you all had a great holiday, were safe, and wish you and your families the best. Have a good day. All right, guys, as you can see, I'm sitting here with the Glock 45. This is not the Sig P320, but I wanted to go over some issues that I had run into with the Sig P320. I sent it out today to have some work done on it, but I did run into some issues after shooting the video. I took it out to the range again, ran some more rounds through it, and as I was cleaning it, I noticed that the recoil spring, and this is something I had noticed before, but I didn't even really pay a whole lot of attention to it. So the recoil spring in Glock and FN are very easy to put in because they are all the same. It's universally shaped the same. So I can do this blindfolded easily, right? And not many people can do that. You can do it with a Sig P320 just like you can with this. So I know a lot of guys are probably gonna take issue with that statement, but the thing that bothered me about it is when you reassembled the pistol, if it was the wrong direction, your spring would stick out the front. Pretty common issue. Apparently, when I looked it up online, I was like, all right, I cannot be the only person that's run into this. It honestly baffled me a little bit that the Army would pick that with it being something that soldiers would have to strip down and put back together so quickly. The other thing that I ran into, so the breakdown, the lever in the front comes in and out. And obviously that's very nice from the perspective that the Sig P320 is very modular. You can switch out the lower and put a lower that you like better as far as grip style and things like that. Very nice, but if that shifts at all or if it isn't turned perfectly, the gun won't, the recoil spring will not slide completely back in and get stuck. Not a huge fan of that. The other thing that I was not a huge fan of is when you disassemble this pistol, take everything apart, and then if you attempt to insert a mag before charging the pistol. So obviously I've disassembled this is clear, but when you do that, it was causing an issue with there's a piece in there that would shift back and block you from fully inserting a magazine. So it'd get stuck right about here. And I looked at it and I could see what was happening, but I just don't understand. Why would you make me reassemble it, fully charge it, and then even if it's stuck like this, you're gonna have to charge it forward to put a magazine into it. Safety feature, I'm sure. It's just not something that you see on a lot of pistols, and that threw me off. All right, guys, I know a lot of you are going out to SHOT Show this week, so try and stay safe. We are doing a review again in 2 weeks. I think we are doing another rifle again in 2 weeks. So the Remington 700 review kind of did not go so well. Kind of like Remington sales currently. So great rifle, but their sales are not doing so hot. So I hope you guys stay safe. Have a good 2 weeks. We'll see you again.